Hey, this is Jasen Rice here from Lotpop doing a Lotparty tip, and it's going to be a little different today. I got a little nudge, a request from John Roswick. Make sure my mic is not muted. Talking about, we should talk about new cars. And because here's the thing, a lot of dealers right now are struggling with trade-ins, and obviously it's a reflection of our new car business. All seen the headlines, new cars sales is down a little bit. And what's up, Nick Miller? Hey, Ray, what's up? So new car sales are down across the board. That's what we're seeing in the headlines right now. And dealers are struggling with that. Trades. Now, I'm not going to dig into trades too much because that's a whole other topic that we can dig into. Obviously, you want to track and trend every appraisal that you're doing. See how many you're appraising, how many you're taking in, or hitting them light, and or hitting recon accurately and things like that. But with new cars, my frustration is a lot of new cars management. I was just on a new car call this morning, and this is where this is coming from, is kind of a set it and forget it strategy and managing age car strategy. And you need to treat new cars like you do used. Every car kind of should and can stand on its own. And one particular color with a particular trim can be moving better regardless of its age. You need to look at its activity, last price change, and get off the set it and forget it. So I just want to come off as, this might come off as a little pitchy, but I want you to understand kind of the deeper dive you should be doing on new cars than just looking at a aging strategy. So what I mean by aging strategy and set it forget it is, let's take a system like Conquest, or even your back end of your website and stuff. You can go into your systems and say, okay, at day 1, I want to be at MSRP. At day 30, I want to be invoice plus 1,000. At day 90, I want to be 500 over invoice. And day 120, I want to be at invoice, or whatever those targets are, that strategy is. And again, that's kind of the set it, forget it, and you're moving it through age instead of looking at activity. Now, I would say, treating new like used, you should have an age policy. You should have a 90-day supply. We should be able, if you got 300 new cars, should be pushing out 100. That's the numbers that we tend to push our stores to. So that being said, you should have a little bit of an age problem, but you shouldn't take, or a strategy, but you shouldn't take an age approach to your inventory. Here's why. Let's say you got a car that's 89 days old. It's the right blue or gray F-150 XLT that happens to be moving better and converting real well. It's 89 days today. Tomorrow, even though it's converting good and it's the right color, right features, it turns 90 days old. Your system's going to make you automatically lose $500 or drop it down, whatever that number is, but it'll drop it down from 1,000 over invoice to 500 over invoice, let's say. So you just lost $500 on a vehicle that's actually moving fairly well. And without knowing that trending data, without knowing that information, it's hard for you to make the decision. But it's understandable. There's a lot of cars out there. When you have 300, 400, 500 cars, it's hard to look at it individually. You just kind of look at it as a clump. And so it comes down to photos and descriptions too. The manager we're talking about this morning, he was surprised at his comments and stuff. He thought he did them and he thought they were going through, or he thought they're there, but they're gone. And his photo percentage was really bad. And customers are going to shop new like they do used. I don't know why we don't assume that they wouldn't, and that stock photos and vague information is good for that consumer. Again, what I was talking about, we want to catch the shoppers, as they're out there, get the SRPs, get them to get a VDP and submit a lead, and then earn their business and shoot them down that funnel. And if without photos, without descriptions, we're missing big opportunities, narrow down, when customers narrow down and so forth. You want to flat price your new cars. You don't want to take, invoice plus $500, have it shoot out a price online, and that price be $40,172. When you can easily drop the 172, put it at a $40,000 bucket, catch the 40 and higher shopper, 40 lower shopper. Customers are going to search by price bands on new cars also. So once you flat price your inventory, once your photos and your comments are there on your new cars, then, that gets you off the set and forget it strategy. And then you got to look at the trends and the patterns that happen. You know, for example, this gentleman's a Ford store. His Fiestas, not just any Fiestas, his SEs. And where the day supply was building up, his were priced higher than what they tend to sell for. But also blue Fiestas were struggling. So imagine if he had a blue SE Fiesta. Definitely want to make adjustments. And then the other thing we noticed that his hatchbacks had an 83-day supply higher than the normal day supply or the overall of Fiesta. So hatchbacks moved almost twice as slow as the regular ones. So now imagine having a SE blue hatchback on top of that. That's the ones you want to make adjustments. But let's say the white sedans were moving great. So we wouldn't touch it, but yet our set it and forget it strategy had it at 89 days old yesterday, and now it turned 90 and it dropped the price. And we shouldn't have dropped the price on the white one sedan, but we should on the blue SE hatchback. Again, because each car should stand on its own. You got to look at the information on it. You can't just do a set it and forget it just because of the ease and convenience of our systems. So again, I say to come off pitchy because we look at that data and those trends. I believe that we should flat price a car, and then from there we got to make adjustments. So how do we make the adjustments? Well, we got to look at the data to see what's working and what's not just the age. I want to look at last price change. I want to look at the day supply from the overall to how mine's equipped, like mine, to conversion percentage, to colors, to trims, what's working on my lot and what's not. And again, once you flat price them, the set and forget it goes out the window. Also, you flat price it, you round it. That one car, I said, whatever, 40,172, you drop the 172, you have 40 grand. Let's say in a week or two, you lose a $500 rebate, or 500 off your rebate. It goes from 2,000 back up to 1,500. Well, now you're at 40,500. So now you got to make a judgment decision. Do I, at 40,500, stay there, or do I drop the 500 and go back to 40 grand and hit it ourselves? Well, that depends on again, age, the markup, the activity, the colors, the trim level, what's working, what's not. And if it's, let's say for an example, I know Fiestas aren't 40 grand, but let's say it's a blue Fiesta hatchback SE, you know, all those trending data that's telling me this is the wrong car to have, I might drop the 500, take that hit, take the loss, hit that bucket, and keep that car moving. So I hope this is a little bit helpful. If you do happen to have the auto conquest and you do need maybe some new car help, because that business is slowing down and slowing down your trade-ins on used cars, which is affecting your gross because you're going and buying more cars, which trickle-down effect. If you need help, let us know. Lotpop.com, 844-LOTPOP, 844-LOTPOP4, and then J Rice at Lotpop. And see if this is helpful. Again, I'll probably do another video on trade-ins because you got to track and trend all your appraisals as you're working these new car deals. Hope this is helpful. Talk to you later.